Hello, audioholics. This is Logan, and welcome back to Rolling Drones. In this video, we are going to be doing, God, what are we at this point? 83 in the Rolling Stones top 100 metal albums of all time with the Red Album by Baroness. Tyler, go ahead.
Yeah, so for once, man, I love this album. This was a treat for me. When I was listening to it for the first time, I'd always heard how amazing Baroness is, right? And I'd never listened to them for myself because like often bands that have a lot of hype surrounding them either aren't really my thing or just not as much of a thing as other people make it out to be, and so I get disappointed. Um but I got to say every bit as good as people made it out to be. Maybe even better than some people made it out to be. And keep in mind, it's on the top 100 greatest metal albums of all time by the Rolling Stones. And I'm still saying it's underrated. That's how fucking good this album is. You know, when I was listening to it, I was kind of like flip flopping between saying it's better than Gojira and not as good as Gojira. This album's really amazing. There's a lot of super jazzy sort of jam session stuff in this record. In fact, the second half of the album has a lot of instrumental stuff on it. I mean, the whole album, there's a lot of instrumental on it, but a lot of instrumentals on it. But the second half, there are like 3 or 4 songs that are just instrumentals. And I think it works really well. This is a very resourceful band that uses every sound, every instrument, every technique that they can really come up with. The only complaint that I really have is that there aren't really enough vocals for this record. Like I think the vocals are fantastic. I love the vocals on this album. I just wish I had more of them on here. The mix and overall production is the best part of the album. It's crisp and it is straight up orgasmic. Really just executed super well. The stereo on this album, it rivals that of Dark Side of the Moon. There are sections of the song, or sorry, the album is very, very diverse. And there are sections in songs that will have you headbanging, sections that are super chill, and you can just kind of go, yeah, that's nice. There's jazzy sections, nice, sort of soft ambient sections, everything you can think of. Really, this album is a musical journey from front to back in every way that is meaningful for an album. It's absolutely amazing that a band could make an album this good right out of the gate. Keep in mind, this was their debut album. They weren't a supergroup. I'm sure these guys played in bands before Baroness, but just keep in mind, so did a lot of other bands, and their first albums are normally not ever their best albums. So it's really amazing what this band has done with their debut. I, after listening to this record, sought out the Blue record, and after listening to that, I've come to the conclusion that this record is worse than the Blue record. But I've heard a lot of people say this is the best Baroness album, and I can't really argue that too much. I guess it's just personal preference. But, you know, at the point where a band is so good that even in their first album, it could be considered their best album, like that's just an amazing accomplishment for a band. So the essential tracks here are Isaac, Wailing Wintry Wind, and Wanderlust. The weakest track for me is Oh Appalachia, but that's not to say it's a bad song or even subpar. It's just as good as most of the rest of the album. It's just not as instantaneously memorable and amazing as the ones on my essential tracks or pretty much the rest of the album. So that's what I have to say about it. It is going in S rank below Gojira, but I will give the caveat that that could change at any point during this list because I've had a lot more time to sit with the Gojira record than I have with this Baroness record. And through more listens, I could see liking the Baroness record more than the Gojira record. It really is just that good. If you haven't heard it, you're wasting your time listening to us fucking twats. Go listen to that album.
Dude, did you steal my fucking notes? That's basically entirely what I have to say. To a point where I don't really have much beyond that of what to say. I mean, it's a fucking masterpiece. I'm actually going to give it the same exact rating. This was not even planned. Such a good, again, amazing technical prog music, really good stereo effects. He even made the fucking Dark Side comparison that I literally have in my fucking notes.
I swear to God, I didn't read his notes before I read mine off to the camera here.
So I would say my essential tracks, though, are Isaac, Wanderlust.
We have the same essential tracks.
What?
We have the same essential tracks. Do you not notice that? Isaac, Wanderlust, and Wailing Wintry Wind. We have the same ones.
Shit, you're right. The only thing we disagreed on was the weakest track. I said it was A Laugh.
And I said it was Oh Appalachia. I could see that. Like, A Laugh is the song where the singer just goes like, ah, occasionally, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that was like a thing that I read in Genius that he did on purpose, because apparently, like, the word "a laugh" is like a double meaning that means "ah" or something like that, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah. Anyway,
maybe it's pronounced Allah.
Allah.
Yes.
Yeah, this was a great record.
He said all I could ever dream of saying about this album. It's fucking amazing. Listen to it.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, I guess that ends the video.
What you just said?
No. So, thanks for joining us as always on this journey. Next time, we're going to be talking about Left Hand Path by Entombed. So, without further ado, I bid you
audio due.
Bye, guys.
Good night, everybody.